They just have to sell the victim mentality because that's all their audience wants or responds to. Welcome back to the show. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get to it. First topic. Trump was on a call with Fox News and he roasted a European leader who was at the Zelensky meeting for wanting to wait 1 to 2 months to meet up again. Go ahead, roll the clip.
And one of the things at the table was one of the gentlemen, who's a great guy, but he said, I hope I didn't insult him. He said, well, let's meet in another month or two, and let's see if we can start, making some. He said, a month or two, you're going to have another 40,000 people dead in a month or two. You have to do it tonight. And I did, actually. I called President Putin, and we're trying to work out a meeting with President Zelensky. We'll see what happens there. And then if it works out, then I'll go to the trilat and close it up.
Who would ever suggest waiting 1 to 2 months to meet again? Does this guy not know who he's dealing with? Does he not realize Trump doesn't wait 1 to 2 months for anything, let alone doing a peace deal? The whole landscape of the world with how fast Trump moves is going to be completely different in 1 to 2 months, right? I mean, Trump was on the phone with Putin in a matter of minutes, letting the guy know, yeah, this is what happened. We're going to be working out a deal. We're doing this trilateral, bilateral, whatever, right? We're going to wait 1 to 2 months and just kind of see what happens. Let a bunch of soldiers die in the meantime, let multiple strikes happen in those next 1 to 2 months. It's just insane that that's even the way of thinking, that like the guy would even suggest that, that's why Trump just thought it was so hilarious. Like, yeah, this guy, you can't even suggest 1 to 2 months. Like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, and I'm glad Trump called it out because, Trump calls everything out, and it's so great that we have a president that's willing to do that and, just basically lay down the law and be like, yeah, bro, not 1 to 2 months. Try like 1 to 2 days. If anything, I'm going to have this done by the end of the week, right? That's Trump's mentality, and unfortunately, the guy had to learn a quick lesson there. But all right, let's get to the next topic here. CNN's Phillip is claiming that the EU leaders had a 9/11 level of concern over Trump meeting with Zelensky. Go ahead, roll the clip.
I think it's extraordinary that this is even happening. I mean, think about the fact that you have a phalanx of European leaders getting on planes at a moment's notice to flock to Washington to give Zelensky backup in this meeting with Trump. That's a level of concern that I think some people say hasn't been demonstrated since 9/11. And it reflects a deep worry about Trump's decision-making and his need to be surrounded by a certain point of view in order to come to what they view as the right conclusion. So I think that alone, says a lot.
Yeah, so apparently Trump ending wars and talking to Zelensky these days is the next 9/11. Like, oh my God, if this happens, it's going to be 9/11, folks. It's just so insane. Now, this is basically all they have left is the fear mongering, because their dwindling audience, that's really all they respond to is just fear mongering and being a victim and pretty much living in squalor, I guess you could say. I don't know, but yeah, every time they pull this whole, it's like 9/11 or this is worse than 9/11, it completely diminishes the magnitude of 9/11 and what actually happened, right? Like, and how many people died, and who knows what really happened with 9/11, but yeah, a lot of people died. And it's not like, January 6th, it's the worst thing since 9/11. It's worse than 9/11. It's like every time something happens now, they just go straight to it's the next 9/11 or it's even worse than 9/11. Like, oh my God, Trump, he's meeting with Japan. Whoa, this is the next 9/11. This could be the next 9/11. Anything that happens or Trump does is 9/11 comparable at this point, according to the Democrats and liberals. It's hilarious that that's like their mentality of like, we're going to be victims again. We're going to be victims. They just have to sell the victim mentality because that's all their audience wants or responds to. But all right, let's get to the next topic here. Former MSNBC host Joy Reid thinks that black people invented everything, I guess. Go ahead, roll the clip.
They can't fix the history they did. Their ancestors made this country into a slave hell. But they can clean it up now because they got the Smithsonian. They can get rid of all the slavery stuff. They got PragerU that can lie about the history to the children. They can't originally invent anything more than they ever were able to invent good music. We black folk gave y'all country music, hip hop, R&B, jazz, rock and roll. They couldn't even invent that, but they have to call a white man the king, because they couldn't make rock and roll. So they have to stamp the king on a man whose main song was stolen from an overweight black woman.
Have you noticed how there's this new phenomenon going around of proud black women who just claim and say anything they want and nobody's allowed to dispute it at all? Like, oh, we invented everything. Black people invented everything. We just whatever. They just say whatever they want that black people invented, and we're just supposed to take it as fact, you know? Or just, no, black people are the greatest at this, and we're the most educated people on the planet. It's just like, for some reason, somewhere they get these weird, like, statistics that are probably completely fake, you know, like there's this narrative that black women are the most educated people on earth right now. Like, I just keep hearing that from black women, but I don't never seen any statistics for it. I don't believe that there's any statistics for it. I believe if I saw statistics for it, they would be completely made up and fake, you know, but like, nowadays, especially if you're a white person and a proud black woman's telling you that they're proud, then you have to believe whatever they're saying. You can't say, no, you're wrong, because you're racist, right? You'd be racist, and you're an oppressor, and you're a bigot, whatever they want to call you. You know, they can call you just Hitler. It doesn't even matter, right? They're a proud black woman. They're allowed to say anything. Nobody holds them to a standard. Nobody is able to correct them or dispute anything they say at this point. And that's just, I guess it's their culture now, you know? I mean, we have to just deal with this culture, folks, of I'm going to tell you how it is and you're going to believe it. You can't dispute anything. It's just crazy that that's where we're at in America, but, you know, that's just, I guess that's what happens when you let liberals kind of run the roost for a while, especially with the whole the Biden presidency kind of let everything off the rails. But let's get to the next topic. MSNBC is rebranding to MS Now to attempt to save the network, apparently. Go ahead, roll the clip.
We have breaking news as it pertains to our network. This morning, a new name for the network by the end of the year. We will become MS Now, which stands for My Source for News, Opinion, and the World. And look, Andrew, they even have a graphic up. I like it.
There it is.
Actually,
the new logo.
It looks very sporty. As we go to Versant, we're going to be moving in this direction, MS Now, which I got to say, you know, I got a call yesterday afternoon, and they're saying, we hope you're okay. We're going. I was like, what do you mean? Like, this shows we're independent. And what I've said on this show time and time again is you look at the people that are running the company, they're entrepreneurial.
Right.
Like, when you have somebody come into your company after working for, like, big corporations, and you're talking, you're saying, and they go, we want you to be entrepreneurial. We want you to come up with new ideas. We want you to push the boundaries. I'm excited about that, so I'm excited about this too. It's like, you know, what's in a name? Well, whatever you put into the name.
Is there anybody out there that believes this pathetic rebrand is actually going to save the dying network that is MSNBC? Like, are we just supposed to believe, like, oh, okay, yeah, you did a rebrand, so now you're just going to change your ways and you're going to start reporting real news and you're not just going to stick to the we hate Trump method and everybody's a victim and we're just giving you fake news all the time? Because that's what MSNBC is, right? It's just it's an arm of the Democrat liberal left wing, right? That's all it is. It's a propaganda machine for the liberal left wing narrative. So it's just pathetic that they would actually think that this would work and would save the network. It's not going to save the network whatsoever. The only thing that would actually save MSNBC is if somebody just completely bought the whole thing, fired everybody on the network, and ran like a whole week-long advertisement on the network saying, listen, we are under new ownership. We know that this was a terrible network before. It was nothing but fake news and just a left-wing propaganda machine, and we're not doing that anymore. we've bought the network, we're completely changing its format, we're giving you real news, right? The new owner would basically have to run that on loop for a week on the network just so everybody who tunes in sees it about 50 times of like, oh man, I can't wait for this new MSNBC. They're actually going to be giving us real news, you know, like it's just, that's the only thing at this point that could potentially save a network like MSNBC or CNN. It just has to be a full new ownership, revamp, real news, right? Because people need real news. There's always a question out there like, wow, where do you get your news? Like, where do you know that you're getting actual real news? If a network just came out and said, yeah, we're giving you full-on real news all the time. It might not be the most interesting news all the time, but we're giving you the real news, right? People would be like, okay, you know, that's actually something I might want to watch, because if I know I'm getting the real story and what's really known, and I know that they're not trying to pull the wool over my eyes, yeah, I'm going to tune in, and that's going to be my news source now. There's a lot of people out there that want that and want to just have a place where they can go and get real news and know they're actually getting the real news. But all right, that's it for today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll be seeing you